So for step 21, attaching the left side of the roll cage, it's mostly the same, except we have this one other piece that we need to put in now, the J3. So we've got a screw coming in from the other side as well as on this side to hold that together. But that's mostly the same. And then, of course, we then go on to putting up the shock tower on this left side, which should be the same as well. So there are all of the hardware pieces that we're going to need for this step. And there's this new J3 piece that we need to put in. So I'll set this up and we'll put this together. So let's grab our chassis here, and then let's just see how this is going to go. This obviously is going to fit on just like we did before, where the front two holes here are going to fit over top of our bulkhead, and then that's going to fit together just as it did before. So yes, that looks correct. Now the only thing I want to check is where this piece is going to go, which is the J3 IC. So that's got to go in between. So you can see here that that is going to fit down here. Now I think, yeah, we're going to have to take this apart to make sure that the end pieces fit into those holes. So you see that there are two notches. Well, that's going to have to fit on either side of there so that that fits into the hole. Let's do it this way, just like that. And then this is going to fit on the other side into that hole as well. That's a little, you know what? Yeah, it's a little awkward. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attach the front part, which is the MA5. Yes, there was one of those. Let's get that one in so that we've got something to work with here. So if I get that into there. And I will just screw this one all the way in. Once it grabs, I'll know. Yes, we're at the end. I'll do one more turn for good measure. Yep. So that's in. And then we've got, and I just want to see, MC6. They are the longer of all of these flathead screws. So I'm just going to pull those aside for a second, just so they're not getting confused. And because we know that that's going to go into that J piece, let's get that J piece in there. So if that's going to fit into here, that's got to fit into there. We know that that's seated properly. So let's get one of them in. Now, I'm not going to tighten it all the way yet. I want to get the other one in on the other side first. So let's do the same thing. And those little plastic tabs that were fitting in the hole are stopping this piece from actually turning for the most part. Now, I'm not going to tighten it totally yet. I just want to make sure that it's in there before we start screwing everything in. So knowing that that is in there properly, let's start doing this. So these are those MA4s. So now we're going to go around and start screwing these into the chassis. And again, I'm going to go a little ways, stop, and we'll move to the next one just to make sure that everything's going in properly. And this time I'm actually going to go right to the back. And grab another one, fit that in there. two more of these ones. So let's just see. MA4s. Yes, they are for the next part. So what I've got to do is just make sure that these now are all screwed into place. So let's go back to this. Just keep screwing until you feel it grabbing. So far, it's looking good. Looks like we've got it all. There we go. So now we'll just keep going until it grabs. There we go. And the front one, do the same. All right, so now let's get back to this and tighten it down. And same on the other side. And there we go. So there is our roll cage in place. Very, very cool. So now that that's done, we're going to work on the left driver's side shock tower. So I'll grab our shock tower here. You can see that the way this is going to fit, we need the washers again inside. There's going to be two. 1, 2, 1, 2. So basically there's 4 washers on that inside, and we're going to be using those MA4 screws. So I'm just going to pull those aside, get that one out of the way. That's going to fit there. Got the screwdriver. Come on. There we go. Okay. So that's in enough that it's not going to fall out. So we'll grab the other one here. Put that in there. Just keep screwing this in. Once you get to the end, you'll know. There we go. You can feel it already getting tight. Yep, I'm not going to screw it in any farther. So there are the both front arms on. And you can see here that this piece, there is a washer, 2 washers left that you can see are going to be the same idea here. This is going to fit into this side, but we're going to need to put those washers on. Interesting. So you see, there's something I wasn't counting on. So I'm going to have to loosen this off. And I'm loosening it off because we need to get those washers onto this other side. So when that goes on there, we've got to get these 2 washers in place. So if I take this one, in fact, I'm just going to use some tweezers. Grab a tweezer, put that one there, Grab the other washer. Put that one there. There we go. And through. So you can see it's now going to be attached. So knowing that, that's the MA2. Just confirm, yes, it is the MA2. Okay, so that's fallen out again. So just a second. We need to grab this. Slide it onto there. And because I don't want this falling off, I'm going to squeeze this. Let's get that MA2 screwed in a bit here so that it doesn't come out. There we go. Okay, so now let's screw this back in. There we go. Right at the end. Don't over tighten, but make sure it's in. And now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Screw it in until it stops. Just make sure that that side is correct too. Yep. Okay. So there we go. There are our front shock towers in place. We've got this piece attached now. That's another handy brace. We've got that piece in there, and now the whole roll cage is on. So after you've hit step 21, this is what your chassis is going to start looking like. Love it. I think this is so cool. So that means that step 21 is complete. So now we're going to move on to step 22 and start attaching the RC equipment.